Well, you know, Franklin County stinks of Democrats, and so you can't be too surprised that Franklin County Common Pleas Court has joined with other crazy woke cities around the country in going public with the fact that they will fight against immigration and customs enforcement taking place in the Franklin County Justice Center. That is where we begin a Tuesday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. Just received a text from someone else who works at the Justice Center about juvenile court and domestic relations court. You know that every elected official in Columbus is a Democrat. The entire city council is a Democrat. All 3 Franklin County commissioners are Democrats. And 16 of the 17 judges in Common Pleas Court are Democrats. Now, they weren't all elected as Democrats, but they like being elected. And so several of them have changed their political affiliation from Republican, when they were elected, to Democrat, so they can be elected again. And so here is what the Franklin County Common Pleas Court. Remember, these are the people who, these judges are the ones who have been the architects of the past crazy sentences, like the guy who beat up a girlfriend in Northeast Ohio, threatened to kill her, came down here, beat up his girlfriend, threw her out on the street naked in December, grabbed her by the hair, threatened to kill her. And the judge said, no, don't disappoint me. I'm going to let you out on bail. And then he murdered her and her unborn child. These are those people. So they announced yesterday in a news release that the deportations and arrests of people have increased at Franklin County Common Pleas Court since Donald Trump became president. How about that? So they're going to put a stop to that, or they're going to try to put a stop to that. Here's what their statement said. Courts have a unique constitutional responsibility to protect due process and access to justice on behalf of the entire public. Okay, I'm on board so far. Let's see how long I can stay on board, or how long before I get thrown off into the gutter. That mission is jeopardized when victims, witnesses, and defendants are afraid to come to the courthouse to testify and participate in ongoing cases, fearing civil arrest and deportation. That jeopardy affects the fairness of trials and other court proceedings for citizens and non-citizens alike. So the contention is that if the Franklin County Common Pleas Court judges allow immigration and customs enforcement to come into the courthouse and arrest people who come down to the courthouse to testify in cases, then justice will not be done. Stick with me here. We're about to, both of us, get tossed into the gutter. But justice will not be done because, look, so we got a bad person who, an illegal in Columbus, and we know there are like 20,000 illegals in Columbus. An illegal is going to have to come down and testify against a bad person in order to get that bad person off the street. And they're afraid that if the illegal comes down to the courthouse to testify, ICE might grab him and deport him. Now let's flash back to the first part of the release. Courts have a unique constitutional responsibility to protect due process and access to justice on behalf of the who? Entire public. Okay, so I just have a question. That is true. It is a true statement. Courts do have that responsibility. But if the illegal who's going to testify, this is their theory, the illegal's going to testify, can't come to the courthouse because he knows he's illegal, she knows she's illegal, and ICE is going to grab him and deport him. I have a question about the semi-truck-sized hole in this theory. If you actually have a constitutional responsibility to protect due process and access to justice on behalf of the entire public, What happens to the accused if no witnesses show up to testify against him? Oh, that's right. He goes free. So we have a dangerous person who will go free because you are standing in the way of people coming down to testify. Wouldn't it be better to let the people come down and testify and get them on the record and then let ICE deal with them after that? My guess is ICE doesn't want either the person who is charged or the illegal who's testifying against them in the country. My guess is Tom Homan is going to let the illegal testify against the person who's charged. That's just a guess. Because I think Homan wants them all out. Okay. So this is so stupid. Here, according to Bethany Bruner's story in the Dispatch, the Common Pleas Court judges say that these rules are intended for people having business at the courthouse and are not intended to be a safe haven to avoid civil arrests for the public at large. Oh, really? Okay. The rules prohibit court personnel from asking about a person's immigration status. Well, we wouldn't want court personnel asking people if they're breaking the law by being in the country illegally. The rules also prohibit court personnel from providing information to immigration agencies, or it also prohibits them from assisting in immigration enforcement during their work at the courthouse. Oh, really? The rules were passed on an emergency basis, but will be offered for public notice and comment within 90 days. And then here is the least shocking statement in the story. 16 of the 17 Common Pleas Court judges are Democrats. Shocker. Now, what's going on in municipal court? Hey, in municipal court, where Democratic judges outnumber Republican judges 12-3, and unfortunately that ratio will shift more toward Democrats with the retirement of one of the only good judges in municipal court, James Green. Municipal court taking an exact opposite stance. Their statement from the municipal court judges, even though they're majority Democrat. This court has a long-standing practice of allowing law enforcement to perform their duties as required by law within the courthouse. Yes! As long as they are performed consistent with the court's expectations. Two primary concerns are protecting the security and safety of all visitors to the courthouse. Yes! And ensuring the integrity of court proceedings without disruption. These continue to be the court's expectations today. The municipal court 15 judges said in their statement that they acknowledge Trump's executive orders regarding immigration and the obligations for cooperation are within the bounds of the law. Can we impeach every Common Pleas Court judge and elevate every municipal court judge? Would that be possible? Could we do that? Probably not. Now, what about domestic relations and the juvenile courts? Well, let me just tell you about a text I just received from somebody who works down there in domestic relations and juvenile court. This person says that the hallways down there are filled with posters talking about the new ongoing emphasis on DEI efforts. How about that? This person says they received an email from their director that they are gearing up for more mandatory trainings. In the estimation of this person, there is so much complete and utter nonsense that it is overwhelming. Yeah, I'm sure it is overwhelming. I feel bad for the few good people who you could fit inside a phone booth in the Franklin County court system who entered the legal profession to, I presume, uphold the law, get bad people off the street. I didn't go to law school myself, not going to play a lawyer on the radio, but I'm going to presume that you have to make some kind of you have to swear or sign some kind of an oath or raise your hand or something that you will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and the laws of the country. Yet an executive order from the president, which you had no problem complying with when it was a Democratic president, but now it's a Republican president, which we have a word for people who pick and choose according to their political ideologies. That's right, would be an anarchist. That's what that word is. So we have anarchists running the Franklin County Common Pleas Court and apparently running domestic relations and juvenile court. But the people who adjudicate speeding tickets at least have their heads on straight.
Clouds will give way to some sun. Breezy this afternoon. Today at 62. Windy and mild. Periods of rain. Thunderstorm for tonight. Low 50. Clouds are windy for tomorrow. Mild in the morning. A bit of rain, followed by a shower and thunderstorm in the afternoon. That thunderstorm could come with some hail and damaging wind. The high 58. Clouds and sun. Windy and colder Thursday. The high only 40. Clouds and chilly. Couple of brief showers on Friday. High Friday at 42. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Hey, Carl Jackson here for Dennis Prager. While Dennis Prager is recuperating, we know you miss your daily dose of Dennis. That's why Pragertopia is giving you a special gift. Right now, Pragertopia members can hear the best 2 hours of Dennis's favorite segments from as far back as 2010. On Monday, you can hear the Happiness Hour.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what I'm about.
Tuesday is Celebrity Guest Day.
Donald Trump Jr. is in studio with me.
On Wednesday, it's the Male-Female Hour.
I really do wish there were a way to ascertain the number of marriages that this hour has helped.
Thursday, the Ultimate Issues Hour.
Not having an ultimate issues clarity is like having a map, but you don't know where you're going.
And Friday is Open Lines.
Feel free to ask me anything about me, about you, about life.
So if you're missing your daily dose of Dennis, go to Pragertopia.com and hear all your favorite segments along with lectures, celebrity interviews, and his famous Torah teachings and more. Get your daily dose of Dennis at Pragertopia.com, Pragertopia.com.
Here. If you're looking to grow your business, you need a lending partner who truly understands success. That's where our friends at the Frost family at First Liberty Building and Loan come in. For over 30 years, they have been helping small businesses secure real estate, expand operations, and thrive. If your bank is making things difficult, time to explore a better option. First Liberty specializes in creative financing solutions designed to fit your needs. Whether you're buying a building, expanding a franchise, or looking for a trusted lending partner who knows how to get deals done, the Frost family understands the challenges business owners face, and they work to structure financing that helps you achieve long-term success. They take the time to listen, strategize, and craft solutions that work for you. A quick conversation with their team would open new doors and could fuel your next stage of growth. Visit FirstLibertyGA.com today to get started. That's FirstLibertyGA.com, where your business's success is their top priority.
You heard me talk about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free, too, with their 3-week quick start kit for only $19.95. An easy, affordable way to see how it could literally change your life, like it has mine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. Trying it couldn't be easier with their 3-week quick start for only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call to 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, every day you feel better is a day you live better. Try Relief Factor's 3-week quick start. Visit ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com, or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. 800-4-RELIEF for Relief Factor.
ProView Remodeling, Ohio's #1 choice in sunroofs, windows, doors, decks, sidings, patios, porches, basements, and bathroom remodels. Call ProView Remodeling today and get 25% off or 60 months, 0 interest. That's right, 60 months, 0 interest. Call or text 7 days a week, 614-756-3140. You win with ProView Remodeling, 614-756-3140. Check us out at ProViewRemodeling.com.
My Pillow prices as low as they have ever been across the board, not just on one particular item to get you interested in going to the My Pillow website, but across the board, including Giza Dream bed sheets in queen size for under $60. A standard My Pillow is under $15. A queen and a king under $20. And My Pillow 6-piece towel set is under $30. Now I know you say, well, I've heard all these prices before. I don't think you have heard Giza Dream bed sheets in queen size for $59.98. I mean, who sleeps on a twin bed anymore? Not very many people. Mike Lindell knows this, why he's lowered the prices on queen size sheets to what the price used to be, the lowest price possible, on twin and full size sets. So mypillow.com, they're calling it their first mega sale. You have to use my promo code Bruce to get these prices. Please do so. It's very easy to do. The bar will pop up as soon as you come in. Just put my name in there. The prices will drop instantly as if by miracle right before your very eyes at mypillow.com. So tonight, Donald Trump will address the nation. It's not technically a State of the Union speech because they don't give new presidents the pressure of a State of the Union speech, because after all, they're usually inheriting a completely different America than they envision fostering for themselves. Trump, of course, has gotten more done in his first, is it 6 weeks yet? Yeah, about 6 weeks in office than anyone else. I think he signed 81 executive orders. He's gotten the Lake and Riley Act signed into law. Yesterday, Democratic senators first filibustered and then defeated the effort to get the Protect Women's Sports Act through the Senate. So good luck, John Ossoff and other Democratic senators who are running for re-election in 2026, because 80% of Americans do not want men and boys in women's sports or locker rooms. So all Democrats voted against the Protect Women's Sports Act. It's an 80-20 issue in America. 80% of Americans do not want men playing girls' sports or in girls' locker rooms. 80-20. So I'm sure Riley Gaines, Jennifer Say, and other women's sports advocates who have been outstanding on this matter will target these guys and women for defeat. And hopefully the Republicans will get to the point where we have 60 senators and we don't even need a single Democrat to come along. And yes, John Fetterman voted against it. And John Fetterman's explanation was, there are just so few trans athletes in Pennsylvania that they all need an advocate and an ally. Okay. That would mean there are millions of biological girls who do not want to be psychologically traumatized, emotionally damaged, physically threatened, denied opportunities by men or boys playing their sports or invading their private spaces. They don't need an ally. You got elected by who? The minority in your state got you elected? Oh, no? The majority of voters got you elected? Oh, those are the people you're supposed to serve, but you're not serving. Okay, I get it. Now back to Trump's speech tonight. J.D. Vance, vice president, had this to say about what Donald Trump will have to say tonight.
I'm excited about the speech. The President of the United States, he's going to make a lot of good arguments. He's going to talk a lot about a lot of the successes that we've had in these first 45 days. He's also going to be himself, which means he's going to poke a little fun, and we're going to have a good time.
We're going to have a good time. Now, the Democrats are planning their own version of a good time, and you can pretty much find headlines about this in any major news outlet. Yahoo headline: Trump prepares speech tonight amid sagging approval ratings. Okay, I better go check that out. Sagging approval ratings. Here we are on Real Clear Politics. Donald Trump job approval 48.6%. Disapproval rating 47.4%. Let's compare that to Joe Biden. Joe Biden's disapproval rating was 57%. His approval rating was 39. He was 18 points underwater. Trump is 1.2 points above water. Those don't seem like they're sagging to me. Wait, here's a different poll. Center for American Political Studies at Harvard University. Harvard, there's a bastion of conservatism. 48% of Americans say the country is on the right path. 42% say it's on the wrong path. Sagging approval ratings. Yahoo. Okay, got it. So what do the Democrats have in store tonight? Well, remember the last time Trump spoke and Nancy Pelosi tore up his speech as soon as he got done? They're going to do some more of that. Okay, they're going to do some more of that. Here's the always despicable Ilhan Omar talking about what she and other Democratic lunatics have planned tonight when Trump speaks.
We shouldn't be surprised if we see walkouts. We shouldn't be surprised if we see, the kind of coordinated effort in dressing a certain way to send a message.
Coordinated walkouts and dressing a certain way. I'm putting my money on lots of blue and yellow. Lots of Ukrainian flags among the Democrats. Remember the one time they all wore white? I don't remember why they all wore white, because none of them are virginal. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. Democratic stunts, because, that has worked so well for them. If you don't believe it, just listen to Trump attorney Alina Habba.
What else is new? The president expects it. Look, these are the same people. We had Nancy Pelosi tearing up papers in a completely inappropriate manner, making a mockery of the room. We've seen time and time again that they use this as a platform to look like disruptors themselves, but all they're doing is disrupting America. We have such momentum right now. President Trump is ready to speak about how much he has done in just shortly over a month. It is an extensive list. I don't know how he's going to fit it, frankly, in the short amount of time that he has. But we literally had to condense it because there is so much good that has been done. So to the hecklers and to the people that refuse to stand up and clap for America, not just Donald Trump, shame on you. We know you're coming, but America's polls and what they're saying about President Trump right now and his crazy numbers and on how much approval he has, I mean, it's an all-time high, so it speaks for itself.
Yes, the Democrats are going to bring federal workers who've lost their jobs to these speeches. The Democrats who are coming, some of them aren't coming, but they're going to bring federal workers who've lost their job because, see, you are supposed to feel really, really sorry for federal workers who haven't gone to work and can't fill out an email with 5 things they accomplished at work last week. Don't you feel sorry? Man, I'm working up a good cry over it right now. To recap, I don't know who's giving the Democratic response to this speech tonight, but I look forward to it because I want to hear how they're going to twist themselves into a knot defending, let's see, what do Democrats defend? Everything Trump is for, they're against. So Democrats are for illegal aliens. They're for men in women's locker rooms and sports. They're for an endless war in Ukraine. They're for unfair trade balances between ourselves and our trade partners or even foreign adversaries like China and Russia. They're definitely for government waste. They're big on the government waste. They're big on the funding of the NGOs so that they can shockingly get rid. They're for insider trading. They're for that. It's a long list that they're for.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Ukrainian President Zelensky calls last week's Oval Office blow-up with President Trump regrettable, adding it is time to make things right. His remarks came hours after the White House announced a pause in military aid to Ukraine. Zelensky says he's now ready to sign a rare earth minerals deal with the U.S. President Trump has made good on his pledge to impose new tariffs on America's 3 largest trading partners, Canada, Mexico, and China. Measles has sickened nearly 150 mostly unvaccinated people in rural West Texas, and 1 school-aged child has died. Linda McMahon confirmed by the Senate to lead the Department of Education. That's an agency that President Trump wants to abolish. Sell-off underway this morning on Wall Street with the Dow down 753 points. The Nasdaq is off 294. More details, srnnews.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free, no-risk consultation. 800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-292-70.
Because truth is not a left-wing value, and the left lies. Breathe. You need the clarity and wisdom of Dennis Prager. Every weekday afternoon from 1 to 3 on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free, no-risk consultation. 800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
Sorry, ma'am, but you need to vacate this home.
Why, officer? I own this home free and clear. I lived here for 40 years.
Well, unfortunately, this paperwork says otherwise.
But I have nowhere else to go.
I'm sorry to hear that, ma'am.
This story is becoming all too common in the U.S. Scammers are preying on people with high equity or who own their homes free and clear of a mortgage. Only one company completely protects you. That's Equity Protect. Get your free risk report by texting the word HOME to 94878. Again, text the word HOME to 94878 to get your free risk report from Equity Protect.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart.
Medical technology is a great thing. Believe me, I have benefited from it in a big way. I had to have a very invasive surgery, not fun to have brain surgery. Got a cool scar out of it, though. But let me tell you, there are some times where you just don't need surgery. If you've been told you're bone on bone, surgery may not be the option that can fix that issue. Advanced biologic therapy might be. Where do I get that, Bruce? Well, you get it at QC Kinetics and their clinics in Columbus. They have 3, and they're building a 4th. What does that tell you? It tells you that thousands of people are getting relief from their arthritis pain, their joint pain, with PRP therapy. Platelet-rich plasma is what it is, which means your blood, which has healing agents in it, platelets. The medical experts at QC Kinetics withdraw your blood, concentrate the platelets, re-inject it in the affected area, and that's how you get healing. Would you like to explore a free, no-obligation consultation? You would. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They're going to have a big protest. Well, maybe I overestimated. They're going to have a protest on the Ohio State campus today at 1 o'clock. I don't know how big it'll be because they already had a protest about this exact same issue, the end of DEI. This little, well, I shouldn't say little, maybe it'll be mammoth, maybe the Oval will be crowded, maybe every sidewalk will be occupied. But judging from the 2 previous protests, one at the State House, where they had 120 protesters in a metropolitan at 6 p.m. after work, when everybody could go. 120 protesters in a metropolitan population of 2.2 million. And then they had another protest at Ohio State last Friday after Thursday's announcement by Colonel Top Gun Ted Carter, the president of Ohio State, that they were going to sunset, because we can't say close. Close sounds so harsh. We have to sunset. We sunset them. Sunsets are beautiful. We have to sunset the Office of, what were the woke names they gave him again? Oh, that's right. The Office of Diversity and Inclusion and the Center for Belonging and Social Change. There we go. So they had, according to WOSU, dozens of students and some faculty. Okay, so I looked this up. What's the undergraduate enrollment? I didn't even include graduate students. What's the undergraduate enrollment on campus at Ohio State? And I'm not counting faculty, and I'm not counting grad students, which, you know, a fair amount of those, right? Just undergraduate students, 61,433. And of those vast numbers of students, they got how many to show up to protest the sunsetting of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion and the Center for Belonging and Social Change? I mean, if it were only the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, or if it were only the Center for Belonging and Social Change, then I think you'd probably understand why, you know, small numbers. But I mean, it's both, right? So the protest should be bigger. According to WOSU, dozens of students and some faculty. Okay, so dozens. How many? Like, let's say 4 dozen. Let's give them the break, okay? That would be 48 people. Some faculty, but I was charitable, okay? I divided, let's say 100. Let's say they had 7 dozen, 98, and 2 faculty. That would be 0.00162% of the undergraduate student population at Ohio State. So I don't know. Maybe they're giving away donuts or cookies or something today. Trying to get people to rally for race-based scholarships at Ohio State, which is, you know, a position that probably a vast majority, given the paltry minority of people who have shown up for these 2 previous protests, the vast majority of students, for instance, like everybody from a rural area, like I was, they didn't come to me like when I graduated from my little tiny country high school and tell me that I could be eligible for a scholarship because I'm disadvantaged or because, you know, I might have a hard time adjusting to life on a big campus where there were, in those days, 50,000 students, and I came from a little village of like, you know, 800 people. But those scholarships exist now, and those are the ones with the sunsetting of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion and the Center for Belonging and Social Change that the students at Ohio State who are getting those scholarships are really, really, really worried about. Now, I would think that they would be able to pull in a large number of protesters because, according to the story in today's Columbus Dispatch, there are 1,000 students statewide who are getting the Young Scholars Scholarship at Ohio State, which is only given to students who come from the Big 8 urban school districts in Ohio: Akron, Canton, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, Toledo, and Youngstown. Do you think the majority of students that come from those cities are white, or do you think they are minorities? So this is a way to say, we're not giving it according to race. We're giving it according to geography. It's a way to give it according to race without labeling it as such. Clever, but nevertheless, I'm pretty sure, according to the Supreme Court's ruling outlawing affirmative action in the middle of the summer of, I think it was 2023, illegal. Not just those 1,000 people who have their hands out to get the free scholarship, but there are 1,300 what are called moral scholars. That's interesting, isn't it? Moral with 2 L's, not ILL, not MORAL, because there's nothing moral about the Moral Scholarship Program. It was started in 1982. Look at this, as a minority scholars program. And then it was renamed because we don't want people to know we're giving scholarships according to race. According to the Dispatch write-up and hand-wringing over this, the Moral Scholarship Program is a, quote, premier merit scholarship program awarding academically talented students who are actively engaged in diversity-based leadership, service, and social justice activities. What do you think the racial breakdown on that is? What do you think the breakdown is LGBTQ to straight on that? So they're very concerned out at Ohio State, and we'll see how many people they lure to the Oval today to join in this protest. There are still some cranks who are mad at Ted Carter for, following federal law, which is pretty strange behavior by a guy who served in the U.S. military with distinction and was the head of the Top Gun fighter school, and who, by the way, also would like to continue to have scholarship money at Ohio State to give out to students, because without federal money, which Trump has said he will deny to any school that traffics or any endeavor that gets federal tax money and engages in ongoing DEI efforts, Trump will remove that federal funding. So, shame on you, Ted Carter, for trying to do what's best for your student body at large. Now, Sheridan Hendrick's story says they expect hundreds of students, faculty, staff, and community members. I mean, they're drawing from a much bigger pool than I anticipated. 61,000 undergrads of faculty. There's got to be like 10,000 faculty on campus. Staff, all the cooks, all the people who work in support services, and community members. So they're opening it up to the whole, like 2.2 million. In Columbus, and if they get like 400 or 500 people out there, well, the Dispatch will write about it like it was, a cure for cancer had been discovered. Also, they're drawing from students all over the state. It says here, the Ohio Student Association, a statewide advocacy group with college chapters that focus on, look at this, racial, economic, and educational justice. What have I said before about the word justice? If you put an adjective in front of it, it's no longer justice. That's right. Climate justice, economic justice, racial justice means that you are preferencing someone based upon a characteristic. And justice is what, kids? Blind. That's right. Now, the Ohio Student Association sent out a letter last week to all 14 Ohio Public University presidents and boards of trustees and rebuked them. Ooh, nice word. For their anticipatory and gratuitous compliance to unjust politicized mandates, also known as federal law. They called the behavior of schools complying with Trump's executive order outlawing DEI cowardly and morally reprehensible, also legal. So they say feelings of betrayal have overwhelmed students as our campuses become equally inhospitable. Has anybody been kicked out of the dorms? Anybody been forced to become homeless? No, I didn't think so. You mean you're exaggerating something that's not true?
Sun breezy this afternoon. Our high today at 62. Windy and mild. Periods of rain, thunderstorm for the night, low 50. Clouds and windy for tomorrow. Mild in the morning, a bit of rain, followed by a shower and thunderstorm in the afternoon. That thunderstorm could come with some hail and damaging wind, the high 58. Clouds and sun, windy and colder Thursday, the high only 40. Clouds and chilly, couple of brief showers on Friday, high Friday at 42. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-515-1865. 800-515-1865. 800-515-1865.
Hi, it's Bruce Hooley with exciting news about the newest product from MyPillow. Now, for years, customers have been asking if MyPillow sells the cross necklaces like the one Mike Lindell proudly wears every day. So they're excited to announce that Mike has partnered with a jeweler right here in the USA to create a beautiful sterling cross. My Crosses. Yes, you can save 30% today by using my promo code Bruce at mypillow.com. Just click on the radio podcast square and use my promo code Bruce at mypillow.com to get this latest product, My Cross. You can choose from the men's or the women's style. The My Cross for women has a more delicate look and is reversible with mother of pearl styled translucent white enamel on one side and onyx styled black enamel on the other. The My Cross for men has a slightly larger cross with onyx styled black enamel and a slightly longer, thicker chain. Now, this amazing offer won't last long, so order now at mypillow.com. Use my promo code Bruce, mypillow.com, promo code Bruce.
Salem News Channel is America's fastest growing conservative TV network.
It's an absolute crazy day.
Home to the largest lineup of free speech champions anywhere, delivering in-depth insight and unapologetic opinion on today's biggest news stories.
Americans aren't going to put up with this anymore.
SNC brings you the news that matters, told with integrity and clarity. Watch Salem News Channel free 24/7 on your television. Stream now on Samsung TV Plus, channel 1177.
You know, I was thinking about the big night with Larry Elder that's coming up on April the 25th at the Dare Dutchman. And I got to thinking, are we furnishing him a driver to get him out to the hinterlands? And then I remember it's Friday night. I could drive him out there. I mean, I can sleep in on Saturday. I don't have to get up early and come and do the show. I think maybe I'll offer that to Larry. We'll get Larry on the show beforehand. But here's what you need to know. It is, again, Friday, April the 25th. Dare Dutchman in Plain City. Phenomenal food. Everybody always goes, oh, man, Dare Dutchman. Awesome. Yes. The bakery will be open. You'll be able to grab donuts for the following morning. You will get, with the price of your ticket, a delicious Dare Dutchman buffet, which will include assorted pies for dessert. Just leave me a piece of coconut cream if you would. Although my friend Scott told me the other day at church that I'm underrating raspberry cream. We'll see if he's right about that. Maybe I'll steal 2. Doors open at 6. Buffet dinner at 6:30. Jack Windsor will be a part of the program as well, which will start at 7. Get your tickets at 989theanswer.com. Can I play the Don't You Know Who I Am card at the Larry Elder thing and get 2 pieces of pie, Jeff? What do you think? Yes, no, maybe? I'm not allowed to have sugar, so I think that'd be a violation, and my wife would frown upon that. So we'll see. We still are awaiting word. What are we? 36 hours plus? No, 54 hours plus since the punch to the groin of a Hilliard Bradley player in plain sight of a district championship game on Saturday night. The freshman from Reynoldsburg who punched is being defended on social media by his mom. Interesting. because he's 15. And he apparently doesn't know any better than to punch a player from the other team who's helping that team win the game, which I kind of thought was the whole idea of a tournament game, punching him in the groin after he passed the ball and was defenseless. No technical foul was assessed. And I did speak to the Reynoldsburg coach last night, who says he has been muzzled by his school. He's not allowed to speak about this. But I'm told by other sources that we're anticipating some kind of an announcement today. The Ohio High School Athletics Association, yesterday, I was told, was waiting on Reynoldsburg High School to do the right thing, which would be suspend this kid for the remainder of this year and half or all of next year. But we'll see what they come up with today. But nothing as of yet on that. The Senate yesterday, I told you, was going to vote on whether they would have a vote on the Protect Women's Sports Act. Senate Democrats first filibustered it and then defeated it, although I'm a little unclear as to why the vote was 51 to 45, because the Democrats only have 47 senators. So how did they get 51 votes? Because I got to believe, with the advocates online like Megyn Kelly and Riley Gaines, if there were people, here's what the deal is. It was 51 for and 45 against. So there were some cowardly Democrats who didn't show up to vote, probably 4 of them. Or maybe there were 2 Republicans and, let's see, we got 96, so 2 and 2. But that will not come to a vote, which eventually it will come to a vote. You know when it will come to a vote? Oh, that's right. It'll come to a vote in the midterm elections in 2026, when Democratic senators who are keeping this executive order from President Trump from being codified into American law, which it, until the Biden administration took over, had been codified in American law under a little thing called Title IX, which was celebrating its 50th year in existence this year, until Democrats decided that you had to extend Title IX, which was created to establish equal opportunities for women to play sports, that Democrats had to expand that, which is a nice way of saying cancel that, crush it, eliminate it, by including gender identity as a protected class. So the bill that was, well, the Title IX, the federal statute for creating opportunities for women, when you include men in those opportunities, men who pretend to be women, you kind of do away with the whole mission of Title IX. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out in the midterms. Now, tonight, President Trump, I hope, will excoriate Democrats for this, because it is an 80-20 issue. But what else will Donald Trump talk about tonight? Well, according to those who have gotten a look at his renewal of the American Dream speech, he will first review, I don't know how he's going to get through anything else if he's doing this first, what he's accomplished in his first month in office. Border crossings are down to their lowest level in 25 years. Okay? So, but Democrats are against that. They'll probably stand up, protest, boo, howl, hiss, or something. He will focus on the economy he was handed by President Joe Biden. Oh, that'll be pleasant. I'm sure we'll reach an accord on that. Trump will no doubt paint. What did he call Biden the other day? Stupid. He called Biden stupid in his dust up with Zelensky. He's not wrong. Are you stupid if you're brain dead? I mean, you know, Biden was just, by the way, I saw a video of Biden the other day, like 30 days before he was out of office, on the beach. I feel bad laughing at it. His wife is the really evil one, putting him through that. So he's going to talk, Trump's going to talk about what he's accomplished his first 6 weeks in office. He's going to talk about the economy he was handed by Joe Biden, how he plans to fix the economy and end inflation. And then he's going to call on Congress to pass more funding for the border wall. And that's when the Republicans are going to stand up. And then what are the Democrats going to do? They're going to sit there and look bad. That's what they're going to do. And then he will conclude by outlining how he plans to end conflicts around the world, which he was trying to do last Friday when Volodymyr Zelensky just wouldn't stop with his open declaration of hatred toward Vladimir Putin, which I understand again why Zelensky hates Putin, but Zelensky doesn't understand why it's an impediment to peace for Trump to join Zelensky in saying, yes, Putin is a killer, Putin is a terrorist. You probably throw a monkey wrench into negotiations with Vladimir Putin if you call him that, which, by the way, Joe Biden called him that, which goes back to Trump calling Biden stupid, which he was. Now, who will Trump have tonight? The Democrats are going to bring a bunch of fired federal workers, because who could possibly engender your sympathy more than people who have been grifting off your tax dollars by not going to work and not being able to tell you 5 things they accomplished at work last week? I mean, we all feel sorry for them, don't we? You bet we do. But Trump gets to bring some people too, and he gets to highlight them. And one of the people he's bringing is a person by the name of January Littlejohn. January Littlejohn is a mom who rescued her daughter from a school where school officials were helping her socially transition from a girl to a boy without telling January Littlejohn and her husband. Lovely, lovely. January Littlejohn says she tried to reach out to the school to find out what they were telling her daughter, but she was told her daughter was protected by a non-discrimination law, and that the mother, if she was hostile to a gender transition, was not a fit mother for her daughter. That would be when I'd pack my kid into my car and leave town in the dark of night and have somebody sell my house and send me the money and never go back to that state again. The Littlejohns didn't go to those extremes, but they did get their daughter out of that. Who else will Donald Trump have at his speech tonight? Well, he will have the family of Corey Comparator, the guy who was shot to death in the assassination attempt on Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. He will have Jeff Denard, a steel plant worker who apparently has done heroic work in Western North Carolina or some other state during Hurricane Helene. Stephanie Diller, the widow of a New York City police officer who was murdered by a criminal illegal alien during a traffic stop. He will have a person named Haley Ferguson, a foster child and recipient of First Lady Melania Trump's Be Best program. And he will have Peyton McNabb, a volleyball player who has a permanent brain injury from being spiked by a volleyball hit by a man.
Hilda here, inviting you to join me on the Patriot Alaska Cruise this summer. A once-in-a-lifetime trip where patriotism and history meet. Picture this, you cruising through Alaska's stunning wilderness on a first-class...
Okie dokie. There's the first hour of the program. Thanks for joining us. And I appreciate it very much. Nice audience today. We always pick up a few more on the replay, and you can follow the rest of the show on the Bruce Hooley Show Facebook page and the 989 The Answer Facebook page. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I do appreciate your time very much, and wish all your teams well if you still have one in the high school tournaments. Take care, be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow.